I did find it interesting, and guys, refresh my memory if I'm forgetting, that in goal line situations a couple times today, that the quarterback got back under center, and they were in a single back formation. Did you notice that a few times? I don't
So
recall that happening
I
last
saw
year.
it. I saw it a couple times, and not necessarily goal line, but just more so short yardage. So like in the middle of the field, I saw Cade get under center a couple times. So if it happened more often, then kind of our viewers can let us know. But it did look like in kind of the short yardage, 3rd and 1, 4th and 1, that they did get under center, and I agree with you. Yeah, that didn't seem to happen much at all last year. So
With Gaddis, like maybe like Jimmy was like, you know what? Hey, nah, maybe that's some pushback between him and Gaddis last year. Maybe Gaddis like, no, we're not. I don't want to do that. And
that's not what we do. And
it,
Jimmy,
it, it seemed like when I saw that, like, that seems kind of like a Jimmy flavor type call. Like, but whatever, man. Like, yeah, like I said, it's really not much you can say negative about today's game. It's just continue to take advantage. Let's put this quarterback situation behind us. It looks like we've seen all we need to see. And that's no shade to K McNamara. Like, I have a ton of respect for him. And I do believe he can find another starting job at a legitimate Division One team in this country. AAC, Big 12, ACC, there are teams that he can play for. But I think one thing that's becoming very evident is that this is the J.J. McCarthy show, and this team is going to go that direction.
do you think, based on what you saw today, just solely based on that, do you think Cade got a fair shot when it comes to play calling today, based on what you saw today?
But I mentioned this earlier, Des, regarding that. Like, at first I'm like, man, this seems very conservative for a quote unquote tryout game, right?
Mm-hmm.
But when I think about Cade and I think about the play calling, that was the same play calling they did with him last year. So what I'm thinking is that maybe that's just placating towards his strengths. Like because he is really good at pre-read adjustments and plays and decisions. But once he has to go through progressions down the field, he's not as effective, right? So they were making play calls that were predicated on that, right? And if that's the case, then do you know what it is? You can only use this amount of your playbook with this kid. Granted, within that range, he does a good job. But with this other guy, you can expand it so much more. And that's just it. I mean, like, I thought the first drive when they went in at 3 and out, I mean, they passed it, I think, 3 out of 4 times, right? So I think they tried to pass a little bit more earlier. And, Kay looked a little shaky. And then I think Jimmy was like, okay, you know what? Let's go back to our typical approach. We'll continue to mix in the pass. And I thought that was it. But no, I thought he had a legitimate chance. But I also believe that the writing has kind of been on the wall because even when Kay was making throws, his throws were off. He was throwing behind guys. He was just he
Mm-hmm.
didn't he would it's just he didn't look prolific at all,
Or
and
even
he
just
almost
sharp.
threw a pick sharp, right? He didn't look sharp. He almost threw a pick. Probably should have been a pick.
Mm-hmm.
What that play wasn't all his fault. I think the receiver failed, but it's just he just didn't look for the quality opponent they played today. What's at stake for him in terms of his job? He just didn't. I think he played.
It didn't look great, man.
He
I'll
played.
be honest. It didn't
He
look
played
great.
himself. It looked more like he played himself out of a job than playing himself more into a job, being his job full time. And that's unfortunate. And sometimes it's how it goes. It's not about what you did last year. Once the new season starts.